This is my 2007 Audi A4. I've owned this car for about 3.5 years, and in that time I've really got to learn what I really do and what I don't like about the car. Today I'm going to talk about what I do like about the car. So to start off, the first thing I really do like about this car is the power folding mirrors. I know it's something small and something pretty common in newer cars, but this is a 2007, so it's 14 years old. And I think to have power folding mirrors in a 14-year-old car is pretty cool. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't really give me any benefits. I just think it's super cool. It's a habit now for me. When I go places, I pull up, I just flip the little switch, mirrors fold in. It also just gives me a little peace of mind, you know, having the mirrors in when you're parking on a road, a parallel parking on a street, or you're parking in a tight parking lot. The next thing that I really like about this car, and it is a big part of this car, and what Audis are known for, is the Quattro all-wheel drive system. Between the tires that I have on this car and the Quattro, this car is almost unstoppable. I know it is a sedan and it's a sportier car, but I've driven in pretty thick snow, deep snow, and I've never had an issue. Like I said, I do have snow tires on here, so that does help a lot. But I've driven up a hill in 4 inches of snow, no problem. I've driven in parking lots with snow. Obviously, I try to stay off the main roads when it's snowing out or if they're covered in snow. But I've had a fair share of times driving this car in the snow, and it's never given me an issue. I mean, I would trust this car over majority of cars that are on the road. Obviously, that's partly because of the way I have it set up, but just having that Quattro all-wheel drive system is awesome. I used to work at an Audi dealership, and in the winter when snow would come, we'd have to move all the cars around the parking lot as they would all be buried. And last year we had a big storm where we got about 16 inches or so of snow, and we would barely have to shovel out the cars. I mean, we would push out some of the snow from the front, but once that main snow in the front of the car was out, we would just get in, let the cars warm up, and drive them right out. And you really saw the Quattro all-wheel drive system work. We had other cars that were not Audis, and we would have to dig the entire car out just to move it. So like I was saying before, with the power folding mirrors, that it's pretty cool for a car from 2007 to have that feature. I feel the same way about the lights, but between all the exterior lights on this car, besides the ones that I replaced, the blinkers on the side, they all have some pretty cool features. So starting with the taillights, the taillights have rear fog lights. So they're not like normal fog lights in the front where they're just kind of lower on the bumper and they're smaller. These rear fog lights are almost like your brake lights are on all the time, just not the third brake light. So think of yourself driving down a really foggy road and you can see maybe 10 feet and a car comes up behind you. If you have your brake lights on all the time, it's just brighter so they can see you from a farther distance away. So that's all it does. It just has your two brake lights here on the sides constantly on. So the next thing about the lights on this car are the headlights. I've done some research trying to figure out which stock headlights this car has. I'm not exactly sure, but they're definitely better than just a normal like yellow bulb you see. They're not the best. I definitely need to restore the lenses, make them a lot clearer, but I do like the bulbs that are in them. I still am not sure if I have the directional headlights, so when I turn the steering wheel, I think that my headlights also turn. I've tried it. I've like parked in front of my garage and kind of turned the wheel, and it seems like they're moving, but I'm not really sure. What really makes me think that they do that is because when I turn on the car, the headlights go up, they go out, and then back in. So I think that if they're moving like that, then they probably do that because when you're driving, they move left to right when you turn the steering wheel. So you may be thinking, why don't you just set up your camera in front of the car and take a video of the headlights while you turn the wheel? But the thing is, I've tried that, and I don't think that the car does it while it's stationary. I think the car has to be moving for the headlights to move when you turn the steering wheel. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure that it does it, but I feel like I've seen them move while driving. And also, like I said, you just saw, when you turn on the car, they go up and down and left and right. So I'm not sure. So the size of the engine bay in the car really makes it easy when you're trying to work on it, just do maintenance, add something in. So this car has the 2-liter 4-cylinder FSI motor in it, but in this same chassis, a 2007 or a B7, this car came with a V8. and it's the same chassis. The only difference is the motor, and obviously a V8 is a heck of a lot bigger than a 4-cylinder. So there is a lot of extra room in the engine bay of this car, which I really appreciate when it comes to doing stuff. I've done a few different things under the hood, maintenance, mods, stuff like that, and just having that extra space makes it so much easier. I changed the oil filter recently, which is kind of closer to the bottom of the engine bay, and I did it no problem from the top. I didn't have to jack up the car at all. So just to show you, the oil filter is down here, right here, this black part right here. That's the oil filter. So as you can see, like I just reached it from the top of the engine bay. So changing that out was no big deal at all. So there's all this extra room over here, and then I even made more room when I put in this cone filter. It looks kind of funny, but I left the air vent in just to force more air into the area of the cone. But even here with the airbox in, you could still see there's the turbo right there, exhaust manifold, test pipe. You could see the ground from over here, from in front here, over here. There's plenty of room, but obviously they had to make it a decent sized engine bay if you're gonna put a V8 in here. And like I said before, this 4-cylinder is nowhere near the size of the V8 that's in here. I've seen, not this car, but I've seen a B5 with a V8 in it, and it is packed. There's no room for reaching around or anything. It's tight. But I really appreciate having all the extra space. It makes working on my car a lot easier. So this next one isn't a big one, it's just a small one. It's another thing like the power folding mirrors that's just small, but I really appreciate and really enjoy having. So this one's a 2-for-1. One of them is the automatic windshield wipers. Again, it's one of those things that I guess is what you get in a luxury brand car, but for 2007 to have automatic windshield wipers is pretty cool, I think. Even modern cars, I know there's not many that have it, but it's super nice. It starts raining, they just come on, the rain gets heavier, they pick up in speed, and then slows down, they'll slow down. Obviously it's not a major inconvenience to have to turn on the windshield wipers, but it's just a little cool feature, not necessary at all, but it's nice to have. So the other one is pretty common nowadays, but a lot of older cars around the year of this one don't have it, and that's the auto tinted mirrors. So the side mirrors and the mirror in the car in the middle up top automatically tint at night. So if you have a car behind you with someone that didn't turn off their brights, or they just have really bright headlights, these mirrors tint themselves. So you know how in most cars or older cars, in the middle mirror you have that little tab you push back, and it helps to tint the mirrors so the lights behind you aren't so bright. That's kind of what this is, but it's more of an electronic thing. So if you notice in the daytime, the mirrors kind of turn a greenish color, and that's just the tint to help tone down the brightness from the lights on the other cars. So if you go in the car, you can actually turn it on and off. With this button here, that just turns on and off. The car's off right now, so it's not lit up, but this will turn green when it's on, and it'll turn off when it's off. So those are my 5 favorite things about this car. A few of them are just small things that I like. They don't really make a difference, but I think they're cool features to have. If you guys have any video suggestions or anything else, any other comments, leave them down below. That's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you in the next one.